watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 18th meeting of the Michigan City Veterans Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Meeting to order because I like to be timely with stuff. So we're having our first meeting of the Michigan City Veterans Commission. And welcome everybody. We don't have enough to make a quorum right now because we only have two of our vet commission, two commission members. So I'm Danielle Corley and I'll introduce myself.
I'm Keith Devereaux, and I'm really glad to see this much of the public taking an interest in this. It's outstanding, folks.
So we can all stand and say our pledge of allegiance. If you want to salute the flag or hand over your card if you're a civilian.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And hands down. Okay. Okay, we're not going to have our election of officers, so we're going to skip over that part because we don't even have enough for a quorum right now, since it's just me and Mr. Devereaux. No approval of minutes. There hasn't been a meeting in the past 5 years. Wow. And we were just going through public comments as we were talking, so I'll let you guys, well, most of you guys know me, so I'm born and raised here in Michigan City, for those of you that don't. I am a veteran myself, 4 years active, 4 years reserve. I've been a nurse for over 30 years. Background mostly emergency nursing, so I have worked with a lot of my fellow veterans and ERs here in Michigan City and in other areas because I've traveled as an ER nurse. I'm currently in mental health nursing. So my passion is to help my community. I also volunteer. I help over 300 veterans a month between the American Legion, DAV 23, and I'm also a member of Post 84 over in Crestwood, Illinois. And I just wanted to get on the Veterans Commission so that we could do more for our veterans within the city, if we can have an impact, because I feel that there's so many things that we can do that has nothing to do with money, because I'm running into people and businesses on a regular basis that would like to help veterans or employ veterans, and so that's what I'm here for.
I'm Keith Devereaux. I'm a native Michigan Cityan. I'm not nearly as glamorous as this young lady is, or as busy. I retired 6 years ago, so my time is free. I was asked to join this commission about 6 years ago, and it was due to the work that I do and the people I talk to on social media and in public. We support veterans and first responders. I was raised by a Marine to be a Marine. That's what you will get. And that's pretty much basically it. I give a damn about our veterans. Just as, everybody else should. So that's pretty much it.
Are you a veteran too? Or?
The Marine Corps sent me home medical. So I did not get the opportunity, unfortunately. But at the age of 3 years old, I could stand attention and throw you a proper solid.
Hell yeah.
Having been raised by a Marine.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't serve, but I was raised to serve.
Gotcha.
So, thank you. And so, moving forward, we were having some interesting discussions with, Jen had a really wonderful suggestion. I don't know if you want to expound on it because some of you weren't here, but she was talking about, we have a one-stop shop for vets, have a building that's a one-stop shop for vets that would meet their needs, like for food and housing and everything?
So I actually had a couple of suggestions that I didn't get to tell you all of them, which I kind of heard you bringing it up. Bringing a military stand down here to Michigan City would be
Yeah.
awesome. That would be one, because a lot of these people don't have the ability to go to these other cities to get these resources, especially our unfortunate vets that are homeless.
Could you explain to John Q what the stand down is?
So I'm not 100% familiar with it, because I unfortunately haven't been able to go for similar reasons. But basically what the military stand down is a day where all these different vets can come together, different companies come in, and it basically gives a ton of resources to these veterans. Whether the resources are throughout LaPorte County, or, you know, whatever city it's in, because I know there was one in like Lake Station, there was one in Highland. Basically just gives a ton of resources to all of the veterans that attend. As far as I'm aware, they also do food, so you're
Yeah.
provided a luncheon as well, which is great, especially if, you know, somebody wants to go that is homeless, they know they get a meal that day on top of resources to hopefully get them out of the situation that they're in.
How
Yeah.
would you find out if these resources are available?
So let me piggyback off what Jen was saying for the stand down, because I participate in the stand downs as a service officer on a regular basis. So it is a one-stop shop. So say you have a question about insurance, or you have a question about home loans, or you have a question about, like say, private sector that works with the VA healthcare benefits. They do that. They have, different organizations that donate to veterans. While they do provide lunches, they will send you home with boxes of food, clothing, boots, backpacks. They do haircuts. They may have HUD Bash there to talk to homeless veterans and get them set up. And then we as service officers, Chris does his work one stuff, and then we also get veterans signed up for claims. We do claims at the stand down. It literally is a one-stop shop, and I'm in agreement. That was one of the things on my list, is to get Michigan City on the stand down list, because we're so far out and a lot of our veterans, especially our homeless veterans, can't make it.
Right.
And then the good thing about the stand downs is it doesn't matter. They don't have to be from Michigan City to come. They can be from anywhere
Right.
and come to a stand down. As long as you're a veteran, you show up, we get you registered, and you can get whatever you want. If you need boots, if you need shoes, if you need socks, if you need underwear, personal hygiene stuff, a haircut, everything. It's like a one-stop shop. So I'm in agreement with that, and I will be talking, we can talk to someone about where and when we can fit in, if the Goodwill, because I love doing it with Goodwill. They do it really.
You'd want to contact Jill Powers.
Joe Powers, okay.
She can help you out with the DOL grant.
Because they do multiple counties around here.
Yeah, they do. But to have one right here in Michigan City, I think would really pull a lot of our veterans in that don't have the ability to travel, especially like some of our disabled or elderly veterans. So I'm sorry.
So do they have like a van service for people that don't have any transportation?
They have vans for vets that will take you to, right now they're only going back and forth to the VA. Our meeting got canceled this past weekend. I wanted to bring up to see about having vans for vets be more available for, you need to go to the grocery store, or you have an in-town doctor's appointment, that kind of stuff, rather than just back and forth to the VA, which is either South Bend or Crown Point. Which is nice if you want to go, if you need to go to the VA, you have that ability, but to make more use of those vans that they have for veterans.
How about employment for vets? This is something I've been trying to do since I've been married. Now,
Need something to get you out the house, huh?
well, this is a mistake I made. I had a infraction with the law, a drinking and driving offense. And I went through what I had to go through, but I'm still, after a period of time, I'll put it like this. If I apply for a job, they don't ask well, have you ever had a DUI or something? And I'll have to say yes. And I've done this numerous of times here in Michigan City, but I'm unable to find employment. But they say these things stay on your record for X amount of years.
Right.
When that's off my record, unless I get it expunged, and I just don't have that kind of the resources right now, unless I get it expunged, I probably won't be able to work.
It's 5 years.
5 years? I don't know what I'll be in 5 years.
Does vet court?
Well, no, it's 5 years from
Pardon?
the date of the DUI. is when it's over.
Expunging, yeah, Indiana has Indiana Legal, ILS, Indiana Legal Services.
Okay,
It's, in essence, you would call a number, you're leaving a voicemail. Whoever returns it, the purpose is they're gonna try to find out what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. And they are trying to hook you up with either a pro bono lawyer or a lawyer that will go at the lowest possible rate to assist a veteran. And they do help with upgrades, maybe some VA collections, there might be an issue with that, expungement, driver's license issues. Again, it's not a guarantee, but it is one of the services that can be provided.
So do they only provide to veterans or do they provide to the public as well?
I think it'll do public also, but they're kind of known a little bit more for the veterans for trying to help them out.
it's called Indiana Legal Services.
ILS, Indiana Legal. If you send me an email, I'll send you the flyer.
Okay, because I had this on one of my flyers.
As a matter of fact, if you give me a second, I'll send you the flyer.
Okay,
Did you
Yeah.
want to see this?
does that look familiar?
Is
Military?
that the services that they provided?
I got that from the last vet fair that I went to.
That one looks a little bit made up. Give me a second.
Okay. Wait, let me get him. Steve, yeah.
With the stand down, where do the vendors come from? Do they volunteer, or is there something in the community that they volunteer their services, like Walmart and places like this? How does this work?
So so the ones that I've gone to has been through Goodwill, and Goodwill has their own team of people, and it'll be different organizations, like they'll send out I get an email and they'll say, oh, we have these stand downs going, are you able to participate in any? And so I pick the ones that I can participate in and what you can do, so they have yeah.
So when Jill Powers from Goodwill, she's out of Elkhart, but she covers 6 different parts of Indiana to do military stand-downs. So we have 2 up here in our region. But what Danielle is saying is, basically that's an all-year job for her, because she is contracting with people to make sure that there's food is laid on, that they've got volunteers, that they've got tents, that they've got locations. Plus there's loans or grants that they can get from DOL. So she has to fill out paperwork for each and every individual stand-down. Plus, she's also reaching out to some of her contacts that also provide like the military gear. So it's very encompassing that what she goes through with such a small team. And I mean, sometimes she's begging and borrowing people for help and assistance. So it's a big ordeal.
What's the DOL?
Department of Labor.
Okay.
Most of the time, you will find anybody helping the veterans are volunteers. It's an unfortunate fact, but it is.
And if they do a stand down, you can do stand downs for X amount of days and time. And of course, the longer the period, the bigger the grant is. But for what we do, I think it's $7,500 is what the grant is for a 1 day. And again, everybody thinks $7,500 is a lot of money. But if you have to rent chairs and tables and buildings, and if you're paying for a caterer, some of the stuff is not free. So it does add up pretty quick.
Did you have something you want to say?
Yes, so I actually had an idea in regards to when it comes to either like a career or employment with veterans. I know that like Work One is of course an option, but I thought about having a career fair for veterans where we gather specifically places and businesses that want to hire or will hire veterans, so that it's specifically like we, as veterans will have kind of first option, like they're gonna look at our resumes and go, yes, you are a veteran, I want to hire you, so that it's more likely that these veterans actually get jobs, rather than like poor Sonny having to go to all these different places and be denied.
Right.
Or they're like, oh, well, I don't want to deal with your restrictions because you're a disabled veteran. We have this career fair with only companies and businesses that want to hire veterans.
And that's where this commission was working when, get hit with COVID. We were looking at job fair situations, locations, businesses, work one, and unfortunately we got derailed. But that's a big part.
Mhm. And then I had a similar caveat idea to that, where do we have like funding per se? Like, do we have bank accounts?
They don't have any, they
No.
have nothing right now in the.
Is that something you're looking to get? That was the reason I'm asking.
That's gonna have to go through the mayor and city council.
I'm sure
Okay.
they wouldn't mind money.
The only reason I'm asking is because I figured if we do that, we can use money if we do something like my next idea, which I'll explain in a moment. But we can use to have bigger events so that we have funding to do things when we have, say, for example, the craft fair. We can make sure that there's tables there. We can make sure, that money would be used to provide the facility that we have, the career fair at,
Mhm.
So on and so forth. Because the idea I had in mind was having a craft fair, but all of the vendors we bring in for that are veteran owned.
Right,
We can
okay.
combine the two.
We could absolutely combine the two.
Yeah.
But I was thinking for a booth, obviously we're not gonna charge them on the leg because they're all veterans, but if we charge like $20 for a booth or something, which is on the cheap side, I'm a vendor, so.
I don't know.
But something on the cheap side, because then in the future we would have some type of finance to have even bigger events or even help more groups, or if we end up getting grants
Mhm.
specifically to help this entity help more, in the city.
I know
It was
we
just
were
an idea.
talking about the fact that the city has a very good working relationship with Blue Chip.
Okay.
And that's where we had hoped to do this.
Okay.
But
Now, are there city-owned places that would not charge us anything to do the fair, like the Sayer?
If we go to the American.
let's ask our liaison.
Hey, liaison, what's up with that? My favorite teacher.
I don't think that you'll have to pay for anything that you want to use through Park and Rec.
That's even better.
And Park and Rec has some big facilities. Blue Chip, although they're a good
Friend of the
partner, they're gonna charge you.
Not only that, there's not as much space there, is there?
Well, they have a lot of
There's
space.
quite a
but-
bit.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen their conference
Overcome,
area, so I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where they do the annual job fair for Michigan City, is at
They
Blue
do.
Chip.
Oh, no kidding.
There you
I wasn't
go.
aware.
I've forgotten that.
The other thing that you might be able to look at are the ARPA funds, the relief recovery funds that came from the federal government. That there's over $1 million there. A lot of it's already been allocated, and some of it can only go to one or two places. But there's still maybe 600,000 that's there that hasn't been allocated yet. And the mayor's spent some of it for homeless, some of it to help people with that want to get home, want to have homes but need help. So, and I know she's a fan of veterans because her husband's a veteran. And there are two veterans like myself on city council.
Uh-huh.
So I'll talk to her and see if there's any money in the ARPA that maybe you could use to help facilitate the 7,500 that's available. Because you're right, that's not going to go very far at all.
Okay.
Daniel, I would say that you might want to, if you email me I will give you the contact for
For Joe?
Volunteers of America and for SSVF, which is the homeless group that covers our region out of Gary. And even though they're out of Gary, they are currently helping a veteran right now, putting him up in a hotel in Michigan City.
Okay,
So they might be a good asset to have at this venue.
okay,
Definitely.
sounds good. I'm just writing myself some notes I can understand later, because I'm looking at, I'm going, what was I trying to say?
Could I ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
I looked up the ordinances that we've got at City Council, and the information on Veterans Commission shows you, Keith, and Danielle, we just appointed you.
Yeah.
Who are the other? I see Steve Moore, Dave Babinski, and Ron Miller. Are those
That's something we're gonna have to talk about.
are they still on?
Ron Miller is not.
Ron Miller.
His appointment expired. Steve renewed his. And I'm sorry, but Dave was new when we broke up.
Right.
And I don't know much about him.
I would be willing to be a secretary if that's like an appointed position. I've already kind of started.
Yeah, I know we had a couple of applications in, but yeah, we're, I don't know if they,
So there's supposed to be 5 members.
right, we're supposed to be
So
five.
who would the 5 be?
Well, I gave her 2 applications for people that were interested last week, so I don't know if she's appointed anybody that I, sent over to her. Because we needed
Is
Mr.
Steve
Miller.
Moore still a member?
She
Steve
said, yeah.
renewed his.
Yeah, I talked with Steve and I talked with Mr. Bobinski, and they were aware of the meeting today, but.
Yeah, Mr. Moore was appointed at the same time I was, which means he renewed his at the same time I did.
So you're still missing someone then?
We're still
There's
missing.
4 if Babinski is still in.
Yeah. We have 4. That's Mr.
That's you?
Bobinski.
Oh, then you are here.
I was trying to tell you that. How come you didn't tell us who you were? You were just getting around.
supposed to sit up there?
You're supposed to be up here.
We need to know who you, so we do have a quorum and we can have an
You
election.
do, yeah, you can.
I didn't, Mr. Bobinski, I know your name, I know your voice on the phone.
Danielle, when you get with me, I didn't know there was like an application and all that.
Okay.
Same here, as I wouldn't mind applying for it.
Okay, the applications are up in the mayor's office, it's like a one-page form, and so, because we need active members, but yeah, there's an application.
Yeah, you're part of this table, bud.
If you guys want to, before you leave, you can go over to her office and apply.
And
for-
just ask for the veteran commission
Yeah, it's
application.
a one-page form, and you put your name on top of it and check off what you want. That way we can have some active members, so now we have a forum, so I'm not, community, please forgive me, because I'm lying to you.
You didn't unintentionally,
It wasn't a lie.
unintentionally.
Not intentionally, but lie's a lie.
I did have one last suggestion, only because
Yes.
I don't know how this works.
Okay.
The idea of getting a USO. I
Oh, that's
don't
right.
know how that works, but to have a USO here would also be incredible, because I don't even know where the nearest USO is.
So that might be a tough gig.
They're probably being O'Hara.
Maybe one of the airports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I think if we can fight to get a USO in Michigan City, here in LaPorte County, how amazing would that be for all these veterans? Because you don't even have that in Crown Point by the VA, you don't have that in South Bend by the VA. Hell, Jesse Brown don't even have one,
No.
and that's a huge facility.
It is.
So to get something like that in our area would be incredible.
But do they cater to the active side or they cater to everybody?
To everyone, from my understanding.
So the USO should be catering to everybody.
I don't know what their agenda. I know we always have them around on active duty.
Yeah, that's what I remember, active duty.
Active duty.
Always on post.
Yeah, always.
But even like as a reservist, I've gone in there, they were good with me. I've had other
yeah.
friends of mine that are veterans that have gone in there, they've treated them very well. I mean,
So what did they do for the civilians when they were?
as far as like retired,
Yeah.
they still have like little resources and stuff like that about insurance. They usually have that kind of information there. And then like just resources in general.
Resources.
But they also, it's kind of the USO is more a place of gathering. So they usually have some type of snacks there. They usually have games where people can, come together. It's more of like kind of like a community center, if you will, but for veterans and for active service members, where they can just enjoy peace and quiet, or they can play a game with another veteran.
The puzzle,
Yes,
Whatever.
yes. So it's more of like a community place. So it'd be a little different than like the food pantry idea that can help with rent and furniture and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
This would be separate. This would be a place for example, our homeless vets, freezing their asses off out on the streets. They could just walk into the USO, they'll have a hot cup of coffee or a hot chocolate. They
and it
can
gives
warm
them
up.
someplace to find people
Yes.
that are in the same situation that can
Yes.
relate
So they
to
can
their issues.
connect. And the USO is open year round. It would be, or to my understanding, most of them are 7 days a week.
Wow.
So I thought that would be a really nice addition as well to, bring the community together.
Added volunteer base too.
Yes.
Is it volunteer based?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
everything is.
Everything is volunteer based.
And it's
I
a shame.
think putting it all in one spot though, if we could find a spot that would encompass all of that.
That'd be
like,
amazing.
Because as opposed to having, this is the USO, because first of all, we have like more than 4 different veteran service organizations right here in Michigan City. But if we're gonna have something like that building that you're talking about that would encompass, where they could come to meet the basic needs that need to be met, to also have it be something where we could have that USO, that would be wonderful.
So I was
Nice,
actually
put it all
thinking,
under one roof.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. The old mall, Old Marquette Mall.
Oh, yeah.
Most of those buildings are for sale. Why not see about getting a grant or see how much it would be to rent, and if it can be granted, that we get one of those buildings. Or, because you wouldn't buy the whole thing, obviously. But like, for example, Sears. Buy the Sears department.
Why couldn't we have the whole building though? Have you ever seen?
Have you been in that building lately?
Yeah, that building's in rough shape.
But listen,
It's in rough shape.
just
Very
The office building's still
listen for a
cupped up.
minute. So I watched this documentary one time, and it was about this place. It's a recent thing that happened too, like how the housing crisis is going on
The
now.
school. They bought a school.
No.
Oh,
This
there's another
man in like the Baltimore, like Washington DC area, he bought a mall. He made the whole mall like an apartment complex. Not saying that we would make our whole mall an apartment complex, but it was a place where the stores were made into, like, they were small. It was tiny living quarters. But then they also had access to all the other stuff too.
Where's my idea for all the tiny houses that we could use for the veterans
And
and the homeless
and
vets?
rather than tearing them all down, if it's not horrible, put the money into fixing it up so that it could be a spot where
Yeah, where
it
we
could be our
can.
one-stop shop.
Well, I've got a question, and maybe Mr. Beatrice can answer it. Where are they with the plans for the Marquette building? The property?
The planning department and the redevelopment people have plans for it, but
Okay,
it all kind of centers on control of the property, and the guy that owns it is in California. He's never been anxious to get rid of it unless you're willing to pay 3 times what it's worth. So they've done some preliminary plans for it, and it looks like mixed use, commercial as well as residential.
okay.
Some of it multi-floor, but it's kind of the same position the prison's in right now. We'll get the property, but
What we're gonna do?
very preliminary.
Yeah.
Okay.
But another benefit, if we do get a big building like that and make it a one-stop shop, we can always make sure we have A, a conference room for our meetings.
Right.
B, guess what we don't have to worry about finding? A space to have our craft fair and our career fairs.
Mm-hmm.
Our stand down we can hold there.
Mhm.
If we can get it in Michigan City, of course, unless they do that outside, I'm not sure. But
Okay.
that would be literally every single thing in one, and it's in a more central location.
It is.
So because let's face it, most of the homeless we see
Are out there by the
are
mall.
walking down Franklin. up and down Franklin, all the way down to the beach.
But
That
again,
is where the majority of the homeless are. So that mall is in a very central area where it would be fairly easy and or extremely easy for them to get to by foot.
got all these empty, like Gordon, the old Gordon building, the old Staples building,
Mm,
all those old grocery stores that are not being used anymore. That's a big area. Get one of those donated.
Where's that at?
Well, the Staples building is used, every once a year somebody leases it out for Halloween costumes, and then it goes
Oh,
for
Staples, okay.
the old Staples.
Down
On 421?
south, more towards 94.
Out by Menards and
Yeah.
Lowe's in that area.
The new Gordon's.
They do things at Christmas.
Yeah. And there's the old Gordons, they haven't rented out yet. Which
Yeah, but that's a pretty small building.
Well, I'm just saying, there's buildings all over the place
Oh,
that are
yeah.
empty that, for old grocery stores that we utilize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely options.
That's, yeah, look, like whatever would be open. I think these are really good ideas. Anybody else have any, because we've been talking about I love this building idea, but let's get some more juices. You guys, any more people with some other stuff they wanna?
The USOs are, if I'm not mistaken, most USOs are predominantly around active military bases. Because they support a lot of the military people and families when they're overseas and stuff and getting them communicated and stuff like that.
Right.
So a lot of the USOs are probably going to be predominantly based around active military bases.
Okay.
So the charter might not cover.
I would say look into it, it's worth looking into, but if you really look at it and research USOs, they're predominantly around active military bases because they help the people that are military, they get deployed overseas, the families and stuff like this.
So the
That is
charter might not.
one of their biggest,
It's the ability for the family that's here at
Right.
home to contact
exactly.
in case
So-
of, well, I mean, the Red Cross will do it too.
Don't get me wrong, but, from my experience, most of them are around most active military bases.
And the closest active military base we've got is what, Great Lakes?
And you're gonna find them more at the airports too, because it's kind of a hub for the veterans
Right.
when they're transitioning.
That's right. Yep.
Well, hey, maybe we can, make like Mr. Keith over here and be some rebels and get one outside of an active military base.
Or to even, maybe we could, do something based off of a USO idea and have it be a part of our participation in the governor's challenge, because again, what we're gonna need in order to help with the mental illness and the suicide in the city is a sense of togetherness, a place where people can come to.
Well, if we get a big building, we
And
can
if we, and so
definitely
we
do
can
that.
have, something,
Like a
if,
rec room.
if we can't get the USO for whatever reason, somebody, and again, if somebody wants to research that, I would, you wanna look that up, Jen? And Steve, y'all wanna get together and make a committee on y'all wanna be our USO/building committee, Steve and Jen?
We doing it?
Come on, Steve, did I hear you say yes, Steve? Did you hear me say yes?
You know, I'm a little hard of hearing, but I heard something over there.
I heard it, Steve, I don't know.
Say, I'll definitely look at it.
I think I just volunteered Steve to, but yeah, we could, yes.
Yes, so what is the building out there by the, park? Some kind of
It's a National Guard building that used to, it was used.
You're talking about the Great Lakes Naval Armory.
Postal, talking about the armory, yeah, the reserve postal unit,
The
yeah,
transportation unit.
transportation unit, it used to be a postal unit.
It's up on the BRAC list though,
What's that mean?
What does that
What's
mean?
that?
base realignment and closure.
Oh, they're gonna close it? Is that the armory? Is that the armory? Armory.
Couldn't be used for anything else.
Coast Guard was in there.
The Coast Guard has theirs across the street.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was a naval armor.
They have National Guard in there now.
The Naval Armory is the National Guard. The Coast Guard is across the street.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying, and they have National Guard there now.
So, wow.
That's right.
Took my ass out.
Yeah, garrison unit, I think, or replacement unit.
Not for long, though. Unfortunately.
There's a reserve unit on Tellswell, I think reserve, is that National Guard?
Any other suggestions for, I think that project, I think this project would be a great project, because I think it feeds into suicide prevention and mental health, which was at the top of my list. Another one is protecting veterans benefits, definitely protecting our benefits, and then toxic exposure, peer support, and what else?
I think getting our veterans employed,
I think it's
some
yeah.
self-respect back is a
Yeah.
big part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even with the suicide rates,
I agree, I think that's a big,
the big part is getting them motivated and
Motivated and.
proud of themselves again.
Yeah.
I also think like, the mental health is a big part of that, because just me, myself being a veteran, I had some issues, some issues I still deal with, some issues I dealt with when I first, got off active duty, and then some issues I personally still deal with, and then working with veterans, that are younger than me, and they're dealing with some mental health issues that they can't hold a job because they got some mental health issues. So I think that's an issue that we need to deal with too.
I've talked to guys that couldn't even leave the house.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So, yeah,
Yeah, the PTSD, so bad they can't get out of the house or hold a job, or they have anger issues, the PTSD comes out and explosive anger. So I think that's something, even before we look at getting them a job, to see how we can help them mentally, because another big thing in our veterans community is substance abuse, like alcohol, drugs, sex, fights, anger, just a whole bunch of things that they're having issues with.
look what we're bringing them home from,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
You put a year deployment in Afghanistan, you're gonna come home pretty ticked off.
or multiple.
Or multiples, of
Multiple
course.
appointments, yeah, multiple appointments. So, I don't know, I think those are all good things. But I guess we can go on and have an election between the three of us. We'll go back to that, because we got a quorum, so we can have a vote.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Despite what my wife tells you, I'm easy to get along with.
So what exactly is the
Or not
vote
so much.
for, since your guys' positions are appointed?
Huh?
What exactly are we voting, or well, what
So-
are you guys
We need
voting?
a president, vice
President.
president.
Vice President, Secretary.
I want to be your
She wants to be our secretary.
I do
She
wanna
says
be
we
your
don't need a secretary.
Self-appointed.
She's a self-appointed, she's our self-appointed.
I'm telling you, I even got our open
She's doing a
time,
great
I
Doing a
got,
good job.
I mean,
So I gotta add
she
him
is the
now.
adjutant at DAV 23, so she's kind of well-practiced.
I was also the secretary at American Legion 451 for a couple of years. I was also
Okay.
the treasurer over there. And then back in the day when Lake Michigan Yachting Association was a little more present, we had a boat club in Dalton, and I was the secretary for them for 5 years.
Hired.
Just as long as Anna gets the minutes and we don't hear from her.
Experience is there.
Okay.
The clerk's office is upstairs.
They'll be like, how did you guys appoint somebody that wasn't?
I'm gonna put, listen, when we walk up, I'm gonna put up the application, I got you.
Okay.
Jen self-appoints secretary.
Self-appointed secretary.
So, just so I can have notes, so president,
Well, we haven't voted yet.
well, no, I'm writing
She
down
owns the
what you
officers.
need.
Oh, just president
So, vice president,
and, is the secretary and treasurer usually the same person?
We don't have a treasurer.
Won't have any money.
exactly.
Because we never appointed a treasurer.
Okay.
Well, I need a treasurer yet.
Yes. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have one on the books though, just so they can start seeing what our ideas are.
Uh-huh.
So it wouldn't be a bad idea, plus then that's your 5, so you have, a full board.
It's like chicken soup. May not
But you
help,
know-
but it couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
With what I've been seeing, what I've seen recently happening, I would like us to have really good checks and balances. I don't want it to just, when we say treasurer, I personally would prefer for it not to just be one person. I think that should be something that we're all involved in.
Mhm.
Just you know,
When it comes to money, transparency.
Somebody speaks for
is better.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like for everybody on the commission to be a treasurer, so when
Yeah.
one sees.
Well, you would
all
have,
sees.
you would
You could have
have
one person.
appointed
We'll have
treasurer,
a-
but
we'll have
everybody will
But
have.
everybody's involved with it.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
just one person counting.
Yeah, so one
Right.
treasurer, but we all the sub-treasurers because we want,
Right,
some
Transparency.
transparency and some accountability.
Yes.
that is something I have well good experience in as well, so you just let me know.
So do I.
Yeah, so does she. She has very good experience
I
with it
know
as well.
she does. Tracy is our district
First female district
first
command.
female district commander for the American Legion. for
Baby
this
girl, look at
Tracy
you!
Burnett.
Oh, yeah. So there's 5 people, so president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, who's the 5th?
I don't know, I guess it's the liaison, I don't know.
The fetch and step.
The what?
The fetch and step.
The fetch step, the person that does the footwork,
Oh, you know
Because you said there's usually 5 of you up there.
that are appointed. So I guess
Hold on.
I guess they're saying that every person that's appointed doesn't have to have a. we just
Oh, they don't
No.
have to have a title, so these are just the 4 regulatory that you need, okay.
By Robert's Rule of Order.
Robert's rule, yeah.
Could you explain the American Legion to me? I was nominated to, but you would have to join, when I wasn't familiar.
Oh.
I'm a two-time veteran, but I never,
You never
I was
joined?
interested in the American Legion.
Well, let me invite you to a meeting. We have our meeting open to the public,
This coming
Sunday. At one.
At 4:51.
Yeah,
The American
4:51.
Legion is the largest veterans organization that has a voice in Congress.
Yes, it does.
So, the posts are individual posts. Then you have a district, which is like a county level. You have department, which are state level. And then you have national levels as well. So there's different levels in the Legion. So you can join a post. There's 2 here in Michigan City, 37 and 451. They have different they have different things that you can do. There are,
Things like what?
well, they have a canteen. So that's the fundraiser. But we also do other things, children and youth,
Chili cook-offs.
chili cook-off, national security.
Bags, pool tables, darts,
So there's different things that you can
Family
do.
game nights and stuff like
Yeah.
that stuff.
game nights, trivia nights, karaoke nights.
But then it also gives benefits if needed. But it's based off of need.
Right.
And one of my favorite parts, they make a killer breakfast.
Oh, yeah, we have a breakfast coming up.
Once a month, they make a killer
We
breakfast.
have one coming up
Yeah.
this Saturday. What,
This
8 to
weekend?
Yeah, 8 to 12.
Okay.
Post 451,
Right.
skiat. But yeah, you can come squat. I call it ski, you know, I grew up with the skiats.
No, it's ski.
Is it ski?
Yeah, skiat, I grew up with,
Oh.
I grew up with the skiats, 2 houses over when I was growing up, so I knew it, that's how I was.
Everybody's been
Everybody
saying
calls
I
it
that.
had it, I found out we were saying it wrong.
So
That's
if you
why
wanna,
it's ski.
it's, yeah, it's, but if you wanna come over, we have our meeting at 1
1 o'clock
1
on Sunday.
Sunday?
this coming Sunday.
Okay,
This is,
I'll be there.
okay.
So,
yeah, yeah, one scout post.
At the skiat post, one by
451.
Ames Field,
Because
one
I'm
by
there.
Ames Field.
I'm an American Legion person from Illinois, I haven't transferred yet, so I don't know which one to go to.
still a member?
I think I'm still a member in Illinois, yeah, so.
We can always get you transferred anytime you want. You're speaking to the membership chair right now for district, so I can help you out with that.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna decide on
We
too.
know a guy.
So
Do you guys
according,
wanna do the election really quick?
So
You guys,
according to-
Sure.
according to this, it's president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. For some reason, I have your agenda.
I sent it to you.
She
I sent it to you.
Is that what you said?
Yeah,
There's a
Yeah.
reason.
I sent you the,
That's why.
yeah,
Okay. Oh, that is you.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not in that group message.
No, this is
Sunday.
I think I talked to you.
You did. Oh,
I
that's
think
the
I-
This is the
executive.
executive.
Oh, okay.
I think I talked to you, but that was because, you know,
No, side note, I noticed I haven't been getting the group messages for the ladies' vets.
I haven't sent any out yet, that's why. I'm just busy, I'm studying for my test, that's my fault.
Jen, you weren't left out.
You're not,
And that's what I'm worried about.
You're not left behind, Jen, because you still hear from me, I need you.
No man left
You're
behind.
my right hand girl.
I got you, especially now that I don't have a regular job, I'll be able to participate a lot more.
That's my battle buddy there. So, yeah, let's move forward, you guys, what we gonna do?
Go for it.
Vote, vote.
Okay,
You're president. Nominees?
This has to be done.
okay, I accept the nomination for president.
Here's your president.
That was easy.
I told you. Heads up, shoulders back, move forward. Hoorah.
Mine is the front leaning rest position.
We need a vice president.
Vice president.
Oh, no, it's your meeting now, Pres.
Oh, so, okay,
Oh, you're spelling her last name.
okay, Keith.
What's happening?
I accept.
I nominate Keith.
For vice?
You accept?
I accept.
He accepts. I nominate and title Mr. Bobinski, but Jen is actually your secretary, so.
Right. You must be an officer, huh?
So he'll be the name on the title
they get it
until
easy.
you get appointed, until you get appointed.
I'm back up, whatever.
So they'll be secretary until then?
Secretary, but secretary. So Mr. Bobinski, but since you're taking the notes and you're so good at it, Bobinski, we'll put Bobinski slash.
How do you spell his name?
Huh?
How do you spell his name?
B-O-B-I-N-S-K-I. B-O-B-I-N.
You must be a high ranking officer. You can go down.
B-O-B-I-N-S-K-Y.
For
S-K-I.
years, I've been in more organizations and been officer here all the way up there.
Mr.
So it
Keith,
don't matter.
how do you spell your last
So I've
name?
got the experience where I need to be.
D-E-V.
Outstanding.
E-R-E-A-U-X. E-A-U-X, Devereaux.
Devereaux.
Like Blanche Devereaux,
French?
Yes.
Arcadian
But
French?
we don't learn from fights. Like the French.
Yes.
French Canadian.
Jen, it is? What's your last name?
Steckober. S-T-E-C-H-K-O-B-E-R.
Can you back up, Al? Alphabet.
Yes. Listen, I just got married back in September and I went from a cute 4-letter last
Yes.
name
Very
to
cute.
10 letters.
Paola, that was her name.
Kava.
Easy.
Kava. K-A-W-A. Polish.
Okay, the next thing we need to decide on is a time for our meetings. Now, the way I would like to see our meetings proceed and moving forward, I would like to have our VSOs, our county VSOs here. One of them only works Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and I was hoping we could do the second Friday of the month, and then that way, if we have vets in the public that attend, that want to access their benefits, we would have the VSOs here. I know Mr. Lozano was in agreement, he thought that was a good idea moving forward, and he said just to pick a date so that they could vote. We could have our Michigan City VSO and our LaPorte VSO, and then that way, people that want to, what do you guys think about that?
Second Friday of the month?
The second Friday.
What time?
We can decide on time. He said any time is good for him. If you guys want to do later, since I know you work, Tracy, so, and some of the.
So they want to do it on the day that they work Fridays?
Well, yeah, because one of, Mr. Lozano is full-time, it doesn't matter to him, but the one in Michigan City, he only does Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So Mr. Lozano suggested that we do a day where they're both working, so when we have the meeting, like say a vet can't make it to 21, to 23 or any other meeting, but they would have Mr. Lozano and Mr. Joe, I can't remember his last name, isn't it? I know his first name is Joe, can have them here to then access their benefits and do claims or whatever at the end of the meeting. What do you think about that?
I like that.
I just asked that, well, especially if I'm gonna end up being secretary, which I would like to, I have events on Fridays for
You do?
my baked goods and stuff
Okay,
that usually start around 3, so can we do something around 1?
we could, the time doesn't matter, and I said the 3 days, Monday, Thursdays, Fridays. I just suggested Fridays because, it's the end of the weekend.
Right. Well, Thursday
I
is
mean-
bad for me.
Thursdays are bad for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fridays will work better for me only because I get off usually at 11 on Fridays, so that would
That will work good?
That would be perfect for me, yeah.
And what were you saying about your events? They start at 1 or they end at?
No, most of them, when I do have Friday events, they usually start by 3,
By 3?
which means I'm supposed to be there by 2,
Okay,
and then plus drive time. So if we can do meeting at like noon, 1 would be cutting it close for me if we run over on a meeting. If we could do something around noon, if everyone's okay with that, that would be really beneficial for me.
and what time is good for you, Tracy?
Noon is fine.
Noon is good for you? Okay, if noon, does noon work for everybody else in here? Friday, second Fridays at noon,
Is it supposed to be open to everybody or
open
just?
to everybody.
That's kind of early, because usually most
Oh, yeah.
meetings with these organizations
Second Friday.
happen around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
In the evening?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to do that, I'd be at my events.
I'm just saying, if you want more participation.
Participation, you think it'd be better if we went
Would it be
later?
easier if we do well, no, what time do you get off Mondays?
4 o'clock.
How are
Well,
you
so-
guys?
and remember, it's only gonna be, according to the ordinance, we're only required to meet once a quarter, but because some of the issues that we're working on, I want us to meet, to get together monthly,
I would prefer that.
just so we stay current and we're actually moving forward, you know what I'm saying, to,
That will also,
And that's
how do
what we just
Yeah.
came up with last time we had to work.
well, how would you guys be if we did like Monday later at like 5 or 6?
I'm good for Mondays at 5 or 6, are you good for Mondays at 5 or 6?
Yeah, that would be fine, but I had a suggestion. I mean, if we wanted to do the Friday at noon,
Uh-huh,
once a quarter, since we're only supposed to meet once a quarter, we offer it to an evening. So
Oh.
you get more participation. So once every 3 months, instead of the Friday meeting, we have it on say a Monday night for the commission.
okay.
And maybe get more veterans that are involved in the community.
Well, I was gonna say, if we do Mondays, I can definitely do it later, so it would be an evening meeting. But I definitely can't do later on Fridays, and he said Thursdays don't work for him.
What Monday will this be, the second Monday?
I would,
Third Monday.
should we do the third Monday?
Did you say the third?
Did we say the third? I don't,
You originally said second.
She said second.
Should second, originally.
Oh, second Friday.
Second Friday of the
I had
month.
said the second Friday of the month because I thought Friday, leading into the weekend was good. Well, I'm gonna leave it to to you guys to vote to see which,
Are your VSOs still gonna be available if you go later in the evening?
That's what I was wondering.
Mr. Lozano, I asked him about the timing, he said it doesn't matter about the time, that they wanted, he wanted to, he wanted them to participate. Because I said, does it matter if it's during business hours or if it's after hours, because we do have people that work and may wanna come later. And he said, just make sure that it's on one of those
The
days.
part-timer is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so
Say again,
the VSO officer in Michigan City is Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, so
So he could walk over here,
yeah,
right across the street.
yeah, so,
When he closes office there, he can just
You walk over there.
back out over here.
Let's do this.
yes,
If you want it on Friday evening, because that's what a couple of you were suggesting, raise your hand. We'll do it by vote. If you want Friday, specifically, if you want Friday evening, the options will be Friday evening or Monday evening. So if you want Friday evening, raise your hand.
I thought it was
Well, what
Monday
time?
afternoon. What time on Friday?
Or would we do the noon on Friday?
well, I like what Tracy suggested, which is
The
once a
evening.
quarter, we have the evening.
Once a quarter, have the evening.
Once a quarter, so once every, 3 months?
3 months.
We do the evening, and then, for the people that can make it for the noon on Fridays, that's good. Or we just do it
Monday
on
evenings.
Monday evenings at 5 o'clock. So who would want it on, it doesn't matter to me, I'll be at either one.
Because it would be at probably 5 Monday evening,
Sure.
because you get off at 4 or 5.
I get, yeah, and I work in La Porte, so I'd be here back in Michigan City by 4:30.
Friday.
So if
A
everyone,
lot of times I'm out of town on weekends.
Yeah, Friday evening is not good.
yeah,
for me.
Friday evening is rough.
Yeah.
So,
So
Monday evening.
if you're okay with the meeting being Monday, the second Monday of every month at 5 o'clock, raise your hand. I think we have our
I
vote.
think you got it.
okay, so we'll be the second Monday. So what that means our next, I'm sorry.
Are you gonna reserve the EOC?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to her after, we finish, I think it was Isabel.
Yeah, Isabel, we talked, but also Jen, for you,
Yes.
have you seen the ordinance that Danielle's talking about for reporting minutes of meetings?
No, I have not yet.
Okay, it's not that complicated, but so you have all the info you need in your notes, I think, but it has to be presented to the clerk treasurer, usually within a couple days of the meeting,
Okay.
because that goes out to everyone.
Not a problem at all.
And once a year, they're gonna ask for a report from your officers.
But if I remember, Tim, once a year from other boards, it could be anybody at this table that presents
It
to
can
the
be
council.
anybody, yeah.
So,
Here you
if you couldn't make it,
Here's the-
Danielle or I, could.
I would have it all typed up for you anyway, so it'd be super easy.
You can take that. So that's how they format it to get to, I think that's how she formats it to do. Cause that was, I think that was the last one that we had.
So the second Monday,
So the second Monday, so I was just
March
getting ready to look at, when is it?
March
Yeah.
10th.
March 10th? Is everybody in agreement then? Our next meeting will be March 10th at 5 PM? Got that on your calendar?
Working on it.
And it's here, right, Danielle?
It's gonna be here. Next meeting will be March 10th, 2025 at 5 PM.
I remember right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there, or will there be something like a website where all this information could be?
It'll be on the city's website.
Yeah.
Once Jen gets the minutes of the meeting to the clerk's office, it will be on the Michigan City website.
Now, because I
If you
took
go
all
on the Mission City website now, there is a Veterans Commission. I would just click on that. I found the minutes for 4 years ago. Yeah, on there.
Since I did take minutes today, even though I'm not yet appointed, do you still want me to go ahead and fill this out and turn it in this week?
Yeah.
No, what we're gonna do is gonna go, because she wanted to see me after the meeting too, so
So
we'll
you
go
want me to
there
go with
together.
her? Okay.
Yeah, so I can introduce you to her, so she'll know, hey, it's my battle buddy, she gonna be the minute reporter.
So- I'm gonna do this because what I'm gonna do is make a specified sign sheet.
Okay.
Because normally at most meetings, we have the officers are like president, not president. That's
Right.
usually part of the record keeping.
Right.
So if you can write first and last name and then president's comment.
And you're right, I've read a lot of minutes from different committees in town. It's always president and wasn't president.
I know, right?
You let me have all the time already. Just to make sure we're on the same page for Tracy, when she gets appointed to be our treasurer though, is that what we want to do?
Well, whoever gets appointed, so I don't know who, because there's other applications in, so I don't know. So whoever gets appointed,
We can always do it next year.
maybe do it this year, I don't know. Going upstairs and put your
So
application
you
in.
are the secretary until I get appointed. For that.
I just put on there slash Jen. And a gentleman, don't forget.
Horse.
I'm going, Ellen.
I
You
did.
gotta earn them points.
Oh, I've known a lot of Corleys.
Thank you, Mr.
I just
I'm gonna run it over.
Yeah, I'm gonna-
2:59, we're at an hour. Does anybody else have any other
New
input?
members to the.
So then, we're supposed to get commissioners' comments.
On there. So I'm gonna figure out who's in charge. I'm sorry.
I just wanna ask,
We'll figure out who's in charge.
if, the public want to donate money to the VA, how do they do it?
You mean the DAB or you mean the commission?
Yes.
I think it would go to the mayor's office, since we're working under in the city, the mayor is over the city. So I think that's something that would have to go to the mayor's office.
You gotta get a form they fill out, and he has to sign it. It's no big thing, but you gotta go through the paperwork.
Yeah, yeah.
But my question with that would it be better for her to wait until we get a treasurer and actually open a finance account? Or would it be better for her to
They
just
probably
bring it
have
to the city?
They probably have an account for us, it just doesn't have anything in it, so I'm sure she could probably have a designation. You don't think so?
Not if it's empty, because then they're gonna be getting charged service charges, and let's face it, they're money meters.
Huh?
If they're getting charged service charge for something that's
It
got
was
nothing in it.
never original to the board.
Oh,
Okay.
There was no original treasurer.
okay, so then, yeah, unlikely.
Well, we'll figure some things out then, I'll ask her, let's see. Okay, any other
I'm not
questions?
really sure how hard the city thought we would push this.
Especially after our first meeting, and we're like, hey, screw you guys, we're coming.
I mean, even back in the day, I don't know how much they thought we would actually push this.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
What they didn't realize is it is important,
it is, extremely.
obviously. I mean,
The
this is
first
the problem.
meeting, this is the first meeting where the general public wasn't even technically invited. You still got 11 people in this room just by simple word of mouth.
There you go.
No advertisement, nothing sent out to the veteran associations. In the future, and honestly, it's not a bad idea, in the future, I think we should start letting the different places in Michigan City know. Put up a flyer
I did.
at the pubs, put up
I
a
did.
flyer over at the Legions, put up one at the VFW, put one up at the DAV.
I did.
Anywhere that there's a public bulletin board, post it. Veteran Commission meeting, all are welcome.
And we can have the clerk's office make that up for us.
They did,
Yes.
so what they did last Tuesday when I got them to, when we agreed that we could meet here, I took it to Michigan City Library, I took it to the Cool Spring Library, I took it to American Legion, I took it to RDAV and Post 30, American Legion 37. So I went to those different places just so because I wanted to get more people to come. And then we have our meeting, we have our claims meeting this Friday, so I will be, when Gail makes a post for our next meeting, I will be taking that and letting the vets know that
And
we take
that
care
was
of it.
another reason I didn't want to do Friday nights, since our DAV meeting is on a Friday night.
Not the second Friday, we're the third Friday.
Oh, that's right, we did get changed. I
Yeah,
forgot about
changed
that.
it.
We were the
Yeah,
second.
we're
We're this week now.
this
Yeah.
week. So, and that's another thing, I think everybody here, yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Suggestion, my mind runs sometimes, and I throw stuff out there that may not make sense. Along with the bulletins and so on and so forth, I would suggest that possibly we find someone that could go individually to each one of these organizations when they have a meeting and make a verbal invitation to the group instead of just posting it, because, you know, I know 451's got, I don't know how many people walk past that thing and never look at it. Don't know.
Madam President, I will gladly volunteer to do that.
Thank you, Commander Tracy Levine.
And another good point to that, don't post it in the bar. We don't notice things when we're in the bar.
Well, it's posted on the entrance, on the entrance to
Yeah.
the canteen,
It is, yeah.
but everybody walks in the back door, so I don't see it in the front.
It's a
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, yeah, we can announce it at our meeting this.
We'll announce it on the
Sunday,
meeting on
'cause
this-
we have a meeting Sunday. Legion
This
does.
Sunday,
Legion does.
and then 37 has theirs the first or second Monday,
Okay,
in March, but it's not till 6 o'clock, I believe.
okay.
I will have to find out DAVs and,
That's Friday. Ours is Friday.
VFW's meeting.
Ours is Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah, ours is this Friday after we finish claims, we have a meeting at 6 o'clock. Or, yeah, is it 6 or
I thought it
7?
was 7.
7, it's 7.
So you guys so you're gonna be at that meeting?
Yeah,
You're
we'll
gonna
go
announce
there.
that?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll hit VFW 37 and 451.
Okay, so we got it covered, everybody's
And
gonna know.
isn't your breakfast on Sunday morning?
Yep.
Yes.
You said Saturday.
No, it's
Saturday.
No, it is Saturday. It's
I'm sorry.
Saturday.
It's
Saturday,
Saturday?
8 to 12.
Yes,
Because
because
it used
they're,
to be on Sunday.
Yeah, I used to
Nah,
be in a
not
meeting
this Sunday,
Friday.
'cause-
yeah, they've,
It's
there's quite a few
They've had a
changes.
whole lot of stuff
Yeah.
broken here.
So this Saturday, they're promoting the cash raffle, which is next Saturday, so it's SAL and auxiliary putting on the breakfast.
How much is it? For plate?
No.
Like $8.
I don't remember, I think it's
I
10.
think it's $10.
$10.
I think it's $10, that's all you can
No
have.
price of eggs.
Karsten Cook-Off, chili cook-off is on Saturday afternoon at DAV.
The 22nd, yes.
Oh, yeah,
This
they are
Saturday.
doing, that's right, they are doing our cook-off.
So you go
23.
chili breakfast and chili lunch and
Straight to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Straight to the bathroom.
Yeah, hot for the rest of the night.
So any other comments from our public before we have comments from the commissioner? No?
Like I said, it's an excellent meeting.
I think so too, thanks for all your I'm excited about what's moving forward. I'm very excited. So commissioner comments, is that you, Mr. Beatrice? Because they say commissioner comments on our notes.
No,
You're good
I
to
don't even
go?
have a vote, I'm just a liaison.
I think we just liaison.
Okay, so if nothing else, then, let's adjourn and thank you so much. And so we should at least.
I am very glad all of you were here, very glad.
Yes,
I appreciate your interest. Personally, I appreciate your interest.
yes.
Let's hope for double. I think our goal should be double this, so 22,
If not more.
if not more, but a goal, we should double every meeting. The best that we can. If we start promoting this more, if everybody here does a word of mouth, invite your friends, invite your family, invite anybody you know that gives a rat's ass about our veterans, tell them be here.
Yep.
Let's double it next meeting. So 22 people at minimum
Just
next
be
meeting.
careful about filling this room full of Marines.
I would say, I think,
No, us Navy people will keep them in order.
The Army
Bring it
just exists, man, we're just here. Y'all got more Army people here than anything else.
yeah, I think it's
But we
mostly.
count on the Navy to get us everywhere.
That's right.
I mean, guess what?
I know, maybe we're your Uber.
Yep,
So I think this was
but I'll
a
bring the
good
crowds.
productive meeting. So shall we adjourn pledging allegiance to our flag of the United States?
Never hurts.
Never hurts.
Never hurts.
All good American citizens. Okay. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, and we are adjourned.